Hello, I'm John Poindexter, and many of you know me from my visits over the years. First, and most importantly, I thank each of you for your hard work and dedication to our company. Our operations are highly respected, and your personal dedication and hard work contribute every day to that success. I applaud your efforts to work together as a team focused on success for the company and for your families. I'm also here because your management team and I truly care about what kind of company you work for, what kind of plant you come to work in every day, and what kind of job you tell your family and friends you perform. The parent company of EFP purchased EFP 30 years ago in August, and I'm pleased to report to you that we are evolving into a best-in-class company with both a workforce and a workplace environment to be envied. Those of us working outside EFP join you in the celebration of the 30th anniversary of our ownership. In doing so, I would like to recognize some of our past accomplishments, briefly discuss EFP's current business, and encourage you to continue our legacy far into the future. As some of you with years of experience with EFP have heard before, Dale Fauner, a Vice President of Manufacturing for the Alka-Seltzer Division of Miles Laboratories, began EFP in 1954 by inventing a solution to replace the difficult-to-install cotton balls used to cushion Alka-Seltzer tablets in small tubular glass bottles. Dale knew there had to be an easier way and began working on a solution in that basement of his home using Dow styrofoam. That practical solutions approach to business creation remains alive and well within EFP today, an especially indicator where EFP's product design and development activity is conducted. The Alka-Seltzer cushion was a hit, and the business soon outgrew the basement and moved to a building located on Miles' property in Elkhart. The company was first known as Dalvier Corporation, the combination of Dale and his wife's name, Virginia. Styrofoam was purchased by the rail car load and cut to make the Alka-Seltzer cushions. A truckload, or almost 4 million cushions, was shipped to Miles weekly. At some point in the late 60s or early 70s, EFP began molding, not slicing, the cushions from EPS. EFP made them until the late 1990s when Miles Laboratories, now Bayer, discontinued the Alka-Seltzer bottle and replaced it with foil packets. Dale Fauner has been described as a plain old country boy, honest as they come, by several of his longtime friends and business associates. Dale had the habit of constantly whistling a single tune, which is said to have distracted everybody but Dale. Occasionally hard-headed, Dale smoked and developed heart disease, unfortunately, but remained with EFP into the 1980s. In the early 1960s, when moldable, expanded polystyrene was invented, Dale was quick to use the process. Since there was no commercially available equipment to mold EPS, Dale enlisted his two brothers-in-law, John and Chuck Cook, who had joined the company in the 1950s to design and build the equipment. The first molding press was built from parts collected literally in a junkyard. And well into the 60s and 70s, EFP designed and built most of its molding equipment. Jim Chandler, who later became our long-serving president, worked together with Dale at Miles for about 10 years. Jim moonlighted for EFP on weekends for about 3 years before joining EFP in 1978. Sales were about $5 to $6 million during the late 70s. Sometime in the 60s, earlier, the company name was changed to Engineered Foam Plastics, which was later shortened to EFP Corporation. The company moved to the current location in Elkhart in 1963, and by that time, it had expanded its business to include block molding. The building was 22,680 square feet at the time. During the 1960s and 70s, EFP enjoyed a business relationship with many premier companies, including Miles Laboratories, of course, Gerber Baby Food, Alcoa, Magnavox, RCA, United Airlines, Dow Chemical, and Libby Owens Ford. In the following decades, the customer base grew to include other well-known customers such as Ford Motor Company, General Motors, Mazda, Subaru, Mitsubishi, Hayworth, Thor Motor Coach, Keystone, Dutchman, DMF Bait, Quiatherm, Valley Enterprises, Shore Package, and Diplomat Specialty Pharmacy. Looking for opportunities to expand beyond the traditional packaging and cushioning applications, EFP pursued the automotive, construction, RV, and retail markets to include commodity board, foil laminated building products, door cores, insulated concrete forms, thermal floor panels, motorhome roof panels, beverage coolers, and foundry patterns. By 1987, the Elkhart location had grown to include over 200,000 square feet of manufacturing and warehouse space. EPS presses were purchased from global manufacturers, and during the 1990s, Elkhart employed over 300 team members. During the past decade, Elkhart diversified market and consumer concentrations to a more balanced portfolio. Concentration on the automotive market during the 1990s resulted in significant growth. But during the period 2000 to 2010, while EFP pursued bumper cores, jack trays, and other functional automotive components made from EPE and EPP, the automotive sector suffered some reverses. During that time, EFP also produced sheet goods for the RV marketplace, which ultimately became a commodity, sadly. These markets, the RV market and the automotive market, became increasingly competitive, and with the impending bankruptcy of both GM and Chrysler, OEM pressure to reduce pricing resulted in our decision to exit those market segments, and of course, large revenue declines as a result. During the past 5 years, Elkhart has diversified its market and consumer concentrations again. Recent capital infusions have added state-of-the-art precision pre-expansion machinery and new electric drive presses. Today, Elkhart serves the upper Midwest as an industry-leading custom molding and fabrication supplier. The EFP Nashville operation was not founded until April 1998 under the name Crackle Cutters, a subsidiary of Polyfoam Thermosafe. Crackle Cutters began business in a 21,000 square foot building with 3 team members, Ace Chapman, Tammy Chapman, and Thomas Hobbs. Wayne Sadler and Clarence McKenzie, who remain today as team members, joined in the first year. During the early years, Crackle Cutters manufactured 6-panel shippers for Cardinal Health, fabricated products for EFP and other customers, and produced dock buoys, packaging, and construction components. In November 2001, EFP purchased Crackle Cutters, bringing with the purchase Toshiba kitted corrugated trays and Kohler fabricated parts. To provide room for the growing business, the Nashville facility was doubled in size to 41,000 square feet. In an effort to remain competitive, Nashville embraced the Poindexter production system, or PPS as we call it, as an operating principle which has helped the facility remain safe and become more efficient. During the period 2007 through 2012, the EFP Nashville facility was involved in the creation of many EPS solutions for commercial buildings, residential homes, formaldehyde-free motorhomes, and a water recreational vehicle, as well as perfecting a patent application for a pharmaceutical shipping container referred to as a ballast box. Bursting at the seams, the Nashville facility was relocated from Allied Drive to a new building at 1501 Corporate Place in July of last year. In the first half of 2015, Nashville was awarded 4 consecutive first place ratings for PPS presentations to other companies in our corporate group. In June 2015, Nashville was confronted with the unexpected loss of the Cardinal Health business. While this loss caused significant downsizing, local plant management is enthusiastically assisting the sales organization to replace lost revenue while managing the business efficiently. EFP was recently notified that a $1.8 million program from Veritiv for its customer, McKesson, was awarded to us. This is great news and confirms the confidence of many customers in our Nashville facility. This brings us to Decatur, the largest EFP operation today. In 1980, EFP purchased the Decatur operation, which was then known as Mahoney Plastics, from, as you might expect, Mr. Mahoney. The purpose of the acquisition was to follow customers that were moving operations to the southern United States. It was subsequently renamed EFP South. Mahoney was an injection molding business which had begun in the 1950s and was known originally as Decatur Plastics. Some of you may remember that Decatur has produced many products, including hard plastic injection molded parts, wire cut components, block billets, styrocast parts, door panels, and many custom molded parts. Melanie Wilkerson's mother, Corrine, recalls that in the early years of Decatur molding, there were so many steam leaks that operators wore garbage bags over their clothes to help stay dry. Fill guns were held in place with wire ties because the gun collars were so loose that they would fly off. And it was common to eat lunch on the shipping docks to the smell of home cooking from the many houses around the plant. How times have changed. But while the times have changed, many of our team members have remained. Decatur has the greatest seniority of any of our EFP facilities, with 28 team members having more than 10 years of service, 15 team members having more than 20 years of service, and 6 team members having been employed the entire duration of our ownership or longer. I'd like to recognize Jay Salas, 30 years, Rachel Allen, 31 years, Becky Miller, also 31 years, Sheila Llewellyn, 35 years, and Vicki Maxwell with 41 years. But with over 49 years of service, Jimmy Wiley has won the Lifetime Achievement Award. It's unlikely that any EFP team member will ever challenge his years of service. Thank you, Jimmy, and congratulations on a truly remarkable record. Decatur has also developed strong relationships with many important customers, including Kohler, GE Appliance, Tiffin Motorhome, Suburban Manufacturing, and others who have high expectations for cost competitiveness, quality, delivery, and customer service. By every measure, Decatur has and continues to excel at meeting customer needs. While the process for molding EPS has remained fairly constant, EFP has continued to invest in production technology, and we have recently approved a request for capital to rebuild 2 existing presses and more to replace 2 additional presses at Decatur. This is in addition to recent expenditures for self-cleaning water filters, new thin wall tooling, a grinder, and a bander. Recently, I traveled to Decatur to congratulate our team members for the decision to remove a long-standing union which represented some of our workforce. I'm pleased to confirm that since the union resigned, EFP has increased wages, improved health insurance options, and our workforce will soon be able to participate in the 401k individual retirement account, in which contributions are matched up to the first 5%. These are not insignificant improvements for each team member in Decatur, and they are well deserved. Decatur has greatly improved over the past 60 years and is now described as one of the premier EPS foam molding facilities in North America by many of our suppliers and customers. Looking to the years ahead together, I thank you for your continued support and commitment to EFP. Your daily efforts truly make a difference, and along with the entire EFP management team, I sincerely appreciate your contributions and wish you continued success as the EFP delivers the revenue growth, operating performance, quality, and competitive pricing necessary to meet our customers' expectations. Best wishes to you and your families as we celebrate together our 30th anniversary. Thank you.